Today, in honor of this day, forget pop news, it's prop news today.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
In addition to voting for the candidates, there were several voter referendums on the ballots making news this morning, like California's Prop 37. This has been dubbed the Frakenfood prop, in which all genetically modified foods would have to be labeled in grocery stores. According to the Washington Post, more than 88% of corn and soy grown in the U.S., this is slightly disturbing, is genetically modified in some way. Consumer watchdog groups say Californians deserve to know what they are eating. Food companies and biotech firms spent more than $44 million fighting the prop. And right now, this morning, still too close to call. So we'll let you know. Another initiative had voters in Colorado, Oregon, and Washington state deciding whether or not to legalize recreational use of marijuana, regulated by the state. Those in favor argued that it would be taxable, so the state government could make some money. Many opponents argued it is a gateway drug and would lead to a host of problems. Oregon voted it down. Both Colorado and Washington passed the prop, but the governor of Colorado is not pleased. He said, and I quote, "Federal law still says marijuana is an illegal drug, so don't break out the Cheetos or Goldfish too quickly."
This is not medical marijuana. This is recreational
This is recreational use.
Wow.
Yeah, because I know medical marijuana is a big deal in Colorado.
Wow. Angie's moving to Colorado.
It's been a long night for the stage crew, too.
Okay, and then in Arizona, everybody, here's another one. Arizonians, that's correct, right?
Yeah.
Right. They had to vote on an interesting question. Who owns the Grand Canyon, the state or the federal government? And they decided by a large margin that being the landlord for more than 30 million acres might not be all it's cracked up to be. Supporters felt if Arizona had control of the land, it could lead to a large revenue stream from tourism, but voters overwhelmingly decided let's leave it all to the federal government. And yeah, I mean, honestly, this is an important piece of real estate. We got to keep it pristine. And then finally, really quick, there was a measure, it was called Measure 78 in Washington, in which voters got to decide whether their state constitution could get a little makeover. The Oregon Constitution, did I say Washington? It's the Oregon Constitution, which dates back to 1857, reportedly has misspelling, some grammatical errors. Also back then, only men were allowed to be Secretary of State. With this measure, all references to that position will now be gender neutral, and yes, it passed.
Oh, the spell check. That is actually good news, I will say. For those OCDs among us, terrific.
And it looks fresher and younger already.
It sure does.
By the way.
A little nip tuck never hurt anybody.
I'm saying.